Where is it?
Hello everyone, this is Chris Tour again coming at y'all with another movie review. And today I'm going to be reviewing The Return of the Xeno with the Alien Covenant, the 8th installment of the Alien series and the 2nd installment in this new Alien prequel series directed once again by Ridley Scott. To give y'all a quick retrospective of my thoughts of the Alien series, like most people, or pretty much everyone, I love the original Alien. That's a brilliant horror sci-fi film. I love what they did with the sequel, Aliens. Unfortunately, everything after that has been pretty much a crap show for me. Alien 3 was a giant mess. I've never bothered to see Resurrection, but I can't imagine that's much better. Alien versus Predator, those movies are better left forgotten. And unfortunately, with the most recent installment, 2012's Prometheus, with Ridley Scott being back for that one, I thought that was going to be a great movie. And for me, that movie just did not deliver, man. I actually kind of hate that movie. I thought it was really dull. Tried to feel like Alien, but just was not able to deliver on what Alien was. So, but now he's back with this new installment for Alien Covenant. And just the basic plot of the movie, a new crew aboard a ship. They get a radio message from a planet. They go to investigate, and a whole bunch of xenomorph action takes place after that. And for me, what I really enjoyed about, or I'll say liked, about Alien Covenant is that it was able to deliver on the alien experience that I wanted from Prometheus. See, Prometheus just tried to be too much about the philosophical mumbo jumbo. Maybe that's not such a bad thing, but I just don't think it delivered well enough. And in terms of characters and pacing and whatnot, it just wasn't well done at all. Whereas this movie tries to get back to the formula of what you want to see from an alien movie, but it's still done in a competent fashion and an enjoyable fashion, I should mention. And it's kind of amazing that no film since Alien has really been able to capture the feeling of that original 1979 Alien, that really great horror vibe. I mean, as great as the sequel Aliens was, it wasn't really a horror movie. It was more of an action movie, but this movie sort of gets back more into the roots of the original Alien. I really appreciate seeing what they did with that. And you know, those horror sequences, man, are just, for me, so much fun to watch. That might be somewhat of a superficial reason to enjoy a movie, but those sequences are just so much fun. I mean, even the stuff that you've seen in the trailer, for me, I just enjoyed seeing the xenomorph and the facehuggers do their thing, man. When they're doing their thing and it's done well, it's just so enjoyable to see them just take the bite out of the people, them scare the shit out of people, them face rape people. It's just great stuff. And for me, all of the gore and horror parts of this movie really delivered. I mean, the first major one that happens, I won't spoil the characters, what happens or whatnot, but it involves like a white new xenomorph, a colored white xenomorph, and that whole sequence is just fantastic. I love that sequence. And all the other stuff with the more classic xenomorph that we've come to know and love, that stuff is great too. So the horror elements and that stuff is really a really major part of why I had a lot of fun watching this movie and seeing the xenomorph do his thing. That xenomorph, that design, it will never get old. And the facehuggers are almost as cool as the xenomorph for me. I love that too. But sort of a big reason of why I think this movie succeeds is Michael Fassbender, man. He comes back. Well, he's playing two characters. He's returning as David, the android from the first movie, and playing a new android, Walter. And Michael Fassbender, man, that guy is just one of the best actors in Hollywood working right now. And he is just so good at this role, playing these two androids, yet they're both distinctly different. I always admire when they can do this sort of thing, where an actor is playing two roles and they got to be in the same physical space. It just seems so seamless. And they were able to do that with Fassbender as both Walter and David. And it's really, really special performance, really great performance that he gives. It's sort of amazing how really in the first Prometheus, Fassbender wasn't really a household name yet. And maybe he's not on that A-list star right now in 2017, but he's close to it, man. And he's really the one sort of carrying this franchise right now. But his stuff is really good. I thought the stuff, what they did with David was just really, really good writing. And it's that sort of philosophical stuff in the movie, the stuff that he brings, which was a major plus for the movie. But I mentioned some of the philosophical stuff. I mentioned that's what I did not like about Prometheus. And in terms of some of the complaints and stuff I did not enjoy, I felt like there were some times where I crept into that zone of trying to really carry on the legacy of Prometheus, all the crap that Prometheus introduced. And it was that part of the movie I did not enjoy when they were trying to sort of dive into what Prometheus was trying to do. And for me, that stuff in Prometheus just did not work. And that was the dullest part of the movie right there. And in terms of other stuff, a lot of people have mentioned, I've seen reviews, people mention that the third act sort of felt rushed. I can sort of understand that because it did felt like once things got really ramped up, it was time to go really heavy into the action and just sort of replicating some of the stuff that we've seen in previous Alien movies, notably Alien 1979. And, for me, that wasn't such a bad thing just because it was still done well and it was still fun sequences. But I do get that complaining that the movie is not really bringing anything new to the table when it came to that whole sequence in the movie. You'll see it if you've seen the movie or if you're going to see the movie. And that sort of brings in a lot of the stuff that you see in horror movies, horror cliches, if you will. And the horror cliches didn't bother me too much in this movie because I didn't hate any of the characters. It's only when a movie has characters that you hate to where you can get annoyed by stuff with cliches. But if it's done with characters that you're fine with or characters that you like, then horror cliches aren't such a bad thing. And they didn't bother me in this one, especially because I thought the gore was really cool. There's one sequence that involves a white xenomorph sort of biting at the neck of one of the crew members, and that was a really, really just cringy sequence. And there's just so many sequences like that in this movie, which is why it makes for a really fun alien experience and a really step up from Prometheus. It's sort of amazing that Ridley Scott, freaking like 40 years later, is still playing in this alien sandbox of his. But hey, it worked with this movie. So in terms of my score for Prometheus, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. I know it seems like I've been giving that score out a lot for a lot of movies this summer or this year in general. I gave it to Guardians Volume 2 a couple weeks ago, but I think that's a fair score, 7.5 out of 10, because I think it's a fun experience, delivers on what you want. It doesn't really bring anything super new to the table, but that's okay just because what's done is done really competently. It is overall just a fun alien movie going experience. It's funny, I'm actually from what I've seen, I'm one of the more positive reviews given for this movie, just because a lot of people, they're kind of iffy on it. A lot of people I've seen, they actually like this less than Prometheus. I don't really understand that at all. For me, this is what a real alien movie should be. Has its flaws, but definitely an alien movie that I can really enjoy, whereas Prometheus is something that I'll never watch again, probably, if I don't have to. And this movie even though I didn't really love Prometheus, I hated Prometheus. This movie right here, along with that one, this one, it's a nice second chapter in that series, and I really want to see where the next movie goes. At the time I'm recording this, the box office for the movie has come out, and it actually made less than Prometheus. Prometheus made 51 million opening weekend. This has made 36 million opening weekend, so maybe Prometheus was an off-putter for people to see this movie, or maybe people just weren't that excited to see an alien movie, so who knows? But anyway, that's my thoughts on Alien Covenant. Hope y'all enjoyed this review, and I'll see y'all around with another vid.